Good morning, everybody. We're on day 27. Are you excited? I'm excited. And we're going to be doing 9 minutes today. So let's go do this. All right, we're going to start with our easy bounce, just like always. Or health bounce, I guess. But I call it the easy bounce. And I'm going to start with no hands. So yesterday I did a really long session here by myself. And I went without hands for like 10 minutes. And that I was so proud of myself by the time I got off. Now, I wasn't doing anything fancy up here or anything, but 10 minutes with no hands. I was pretty impressed. Oh, Alexa, start a timer for 9 minutes. Sorry. So we're going to have about 9 minutes and 15 seconds here.
Starting now.
All right. I feel really energetic today. I'm not tired. I'm not as cold as I have been because my husband started a fire for me this morning. But it was snowing when I got up. Snowing, great big giant flakes of snow. And I was like, oh, what? And it's gone now, but I was like, okay, that was weird. Yeah, that was a really strange one for us. Now we're supposed to have rain for the whole next week. It's like, I'll be so glad when spring hits. I don't know what's going on with my shirt today, but it's crooked. All right, so if you can, let's do some up on the calves. Get the calves to do their little thing, get the motor running. I saw this really funny thing where a girl calls your calf muscles your motor muscles. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And she said that all day long, she works in the office, and all day she does calf raises all day long. She's very thin, very attractive. So she learned about the calf muscles very young. Proud of her. I wish when we were young and we were running around outside and playing and jumping and climbing and rolling and all the things that we did when we were younger, I wish somebody would have told us how important it was to continue to do that. Just keep doing it as you age. Now, one thing that I used to do, and I remember doing this when I was younger, I worked in offices a little bit when I was younger. I would get up like every time it was break time or a 10-minute break or whatever, I'd get up and walk around. I never went and sat somewhere. I'd get up and I'd walk outside, walk up and down stairs if I had them. So I was pretty good when I was younger about that kind of stuff, but we get older, we get tired, life wears us down, all that stuff. But yeah, I wish I would have stayed as active as I aged as I was when I was younger, because I was a very active kid. Okay, what do we want to do today? Let's see, let's do some step outs, step ins, step outs, step ins, step outs, step ins. I've really been trying to focus on my legs lately, really trying to do a lot of work for my legs. I lost a lot of my quad muscle on my right side from the stroke. That's what got me going gung-ho about exercising again in 224. I started in August of 2024. Seated. I was seated in a chair. I was doing yoga and 2-pound weights. That's how I started. And now I'm up to 8 and 10 pounds mostly. Don't have to sit anymore. I do probably 20 minutes of yoga every morning and anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes of weights depending on what exactly I'm doing. So yeah, life is different now. And now I'm doing the rebounder. My poor walking pad's getting dusty. I may end up selling the walking pad because when it comes right down to it, I like this so much better than the walking pad. But I don't know, we'll see. Hang on to it for now because I also have a stand-up desk. The thing is I'm not at my desk very much anymore because I don't do as much work from home anymore. So I don't know if I either need either one of those. Maybe put them both up for sale. I feel like I'm putting a little bit more into it today because my breathing is a little bit like, woo, getting into it. So I took my measurements last night. I've lost another 2 inches off the waist band, I call it. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. Especially since I've only lost a few more pounds. So it's like 2 inches and a few pounds, that seems like a lot. All right. You guys ready to do the gobbler? All right, ready? We're counting to 60. Right side first. Move your neck a little bit, work it out a little bit. especially if it gets stiff. Get ready. Get ready to do the left side. Count to 60. So I don't know if any of you guys noticed it, but I started tilting this way. I started tilting towards my stroke side, and I had to use the bar to pull myself back up. So if I wouldn't have had a bar here and I started tilting, I would have actually fallen off the boundary. So for me, I'm probably always gonna either have to have a bar or the big bar, because there's certain things about strokes that never go away, no matter how well you heal. I mean, most people look at me and they go, wow, you've really healed great. I mean, considering I was completely paralyzed all the way down, couldn't talk, couldn't swallow, couldn't eat, couldn't do any of that stuff. Yes, I've recovered remarkably well, and every day I get up and give gratitude and thanks. I'm so thankful. I can't even begin to tell you how thankful I am, and my family is thankful. But there are still residual things, if you ever have a stroke or you know anybody that's had one or whatever, that we go through, and we don't talk about it all the time. So most of us that have had strokes aren't telling the people around us every single thing that's happening to us every day. We're not talking about sensations, feelings, lack of feelings or sensations, numbness, the fact that we can't swallow on one side of our throat, the fact that we don't see as good out of one eye, we don't hear as good out of one ear, we're not as strong on this side. The leg is shorter and the arm is shorter because of the atrophying of muscles after the stroke. So you won't know about those things with most people because they're not going to talk about it. We just don't. And now if we are around another person that's had a stroke that understands, we'll go into more details. But there's all these little things that you have to learn to live with after you have a stroke, and then you have to learn to make allowances for. So one of them is me, I'm always going to have a bar, but look what I can do now. Something that I did not think when I first started that I'd be able to do. It's like, to you guys, that may not seem like nothing, but the fact that I could jump up on this leg, okay, now I need to help, and come back down on it is miraculous to me. It's miraculous. Even when I first started doing this, 5-6 weeks ago, there's no way I would even attempted to jump up and take my feet off this bouncer. But yeah, okay, let's do our tummies. Get into our positions. Tuck the hips under, tighten the stomach. Oh, 25. I can do it to the count of 25 now. If that doesn't seem hard to you, you're not doing it right, trust me, because it should be hard. We'll do it one more time. Try to do 2 each time now. Okay, ready? Wow. I can only make it to a count of 10 the first few times I did that, so work it up. Okay, let's get the breathing back down to normal. Breathe it down. It's funny because everybody else is trying to get their breathing up, and if I hadn't had a stroke, trust me, I'd be trying to breathe as hard as I could, because I don't know how many people know this and how many people don't, and I try to bring it up often. You lose the fat by breathing. If you don't believe me, go look it up. How do we lose fat from our body? And the first thing you're going to breathe is breath. You lose it from breathing. The more times you can get your breath up and take deeper breaths in, the more fat you're going to blow out. So if you're on a diet, burning fat on purpose, trying to lose weight, be taking deep breaths throughout the day, doing exercise and stuff that increase your breathing, because all of these things help you get the fat out. You'd really have to read it on Google or something to understand it better than how I just explained it. But trust me, the breathing is a good thing. But for me, because I have wow, our 9 minutes is up, guys. Anyway, I'll explain the rest of that tomorrow, I guess. You guys, have a great day. See you tomorrow for day 28.